Greetings. My name is Vincenzo D'Angelo. I'm a senior flight instructor at Middle Georgia State University here in Macon, Georgia. I've been fortunate to be entrusted as our Macon campus's multi-engine instructor, and as such, I've gained a lot of experience dealing with an intense and fast-paced training environment. Those who have gone through it know that in multi-engine training, there's a lot to keep track of, and every second counts. As such, there's little time for discussion unrelated to the required tasks of the crew. Although, the same can be said for all of flight training, and by extension, all of aviation, especially within the critical phases of flight. So today, I'm going to briefly discuss a very important concept in aviation, the sterile flight deck. The sterile flight deck doctrine is simple. Avoid all non-relevant conversations, and focus only on conversation relevant to the current phase of the mission. Particularly, it is usually best to keep conversation confined to the current phase of flight, such as while taxiing, trying to limit discussion to taxiing, etc. Sometimes this is not always possible, but the sterile flight deck is a general guideline, not a set of precise rules. This rule is most especially important during the critical phases of flight: taxiing, departures, and arrivals. During taxi, pilots are maneuvering the aircraft on the ground, navigating through a busy airport environment filled with other aircraft, vehicles, and ground personnel. Any distraction during this phase could lead to a collision or a runway incursion, endangering the aircraft and potentially even lives on board, as well as the lives on the ground, such as ground crew. As we transition to takeoff, split-second decisions and precise execution are paramount. Any deviation from the established procedures due to distraction could result in loss of control or failure to achieve the necessary mission parameters, putting safety of flight in jeopardy. Finally, during arrivals, approaches, and landings, pilots must contend with a vast array of factors not limited to weather conditions, traffic, ATC instructions, and any number of other critical factors. And this is before anything has even gone wrong. Maintaining a sterile flight deck ensures that pilots can focus solely on executing a safe landing without any unnecessary distractions that could lead to a missed approach, runway excursion, landing on the wrong runway, or worse. In the interest of time, I'll list a couple of examples where the sterile flight deck rule was breached and caused an incident or accident. You can look up for yourself American Eagle Flight 4184 in 1994, Comair Flight 3272 in 1997, Asiana Airlines Flight 214 in 2013, and my personal favorite incident, which illustrates that pilots can get complacent in cruise flight, Northwest Airlines Flight 188 in 2009. In this flight, nobody was hurt, but the pilots missed their destination by a few hundred miles because they were watching a movie on their laptop. The sterile flight deck is not just about following rules, it's a philosophy, and it cuts to the core of what it means to be a pilot. It's about prioritizing safety above all else. By minimizing non-essential communication and activities during the critical phases of flight, pilots can devote their full attention to the task at hand, reducing the risk of human error and enhancing safety of flight. I often tell my students, and especially my multi-engine students, that unwavering focus and discipline are important keys to success as pilots. At the end of the day, it's all about upholding the highest standards of aviation safety and ensuring that every flight reaches its destination safely. I'd like to thank Vincent Chiem, one of my favorite students, for positing this important question and ever-relevant topic in aviation safety. Thank you for listening, and fly safe.